Wednesday morning, 27th day of July. Weather forecast hot, slight chance of showers. The odometer levels at 2.6 feet and kind of hanging out in that area. And it's now time for the world famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by Mike Birch Ford and Blackshear Jessup Premium Storage out on the Waycross Highway. Also brought to you by Parker Insurance and Realty on Macon Street and by Drury Diesel, the intersection of First and Cherry Street in downtown Jessup. Well, Bob, got some special guests in this morning.
I got the band director Ken Weiner in and Jason Weaver, the band. The band's got a big trip going to Philadelphia for the holidays, Thanksgiving Day parade. You're kind of late. You should be out there now for the Democratic National Convention, but they're all skipping all that politics. But you're going out to Philadelphia, you got a fundraising, going to sell some bricks to raise money. Ken, tell us what's taking place.
We got all kinds of stuff going on. Right now, we got Jason, nearly 300 bricks sold for our new where our new stadium is, or our new seats where we're sitting this year. Thank you, Board of Education and Maintenance. We've got a fantastic facility set up for this year. It's going to be a little different for us because we're going to be inside the field. It's a lot of positives to it, though. We had to move the flags around the field a little bit to accommodate that, and we're doing a commemorative brick sale behind where that new bleachers are for us. So that's one of the things we're doing. Like I said, about 300 bricks right now. I'm still pushing to get them sold, trying to get them in there before the first game. So real excited about that. Scott Hull and his people have been doing some really fantastic. The bricks look fantastic. Just really excited.
How much are they?
They're $50.
$50 a brick.
$50 a brick.
Okay.
Be there forever.
And you can be there forever. Okay. They'll be there forever. And how many lines and what kind of characters can you put on the bricks?
It's 2 lines, and I have a form out there. I'm pretty positive it's 20 spaces per line.
Okay. All right.
Not sure right off, but I'm pretty sure that's
okay. So you get quite a bit of information on there. Now, do they make if you have less information, do they make the letters bigger, or is it all the same size?
I think he's running them the same size, but he's centering them, because the one thing that we want to stress, and we only had a couple of issues with, is we want it to look uniformed.
Okay.
That's part of the band is uniform. So we wanted it uniform. We didn't want clip art on it. We didn't want this one to have big letters and this one to have little letters, because 90%, I would say, are memory bricks of a past family member. So just keeping it looking the same, I think, is the best way to go with it.
And the band boosters is selling these bricks. Why now? Once again,
to help fund the way to Philadelphia for our we're going to leave out, and we'll be gone 4 days, and the kids will be in the Thanksgiving Day parade on ABC.
On ABC,
yes.
Thanksgiving parade.
Thanksgiving Day.
Okay, on Thanksgiving Day. Is that an early morning parade?
It is a morning parade.
Okay.
It's the oldest running Thanksgiving Day parade there is in the nation.
In the nation, so longer there than even New York City.
Yes.
And so, do you have other things planned? I'm sure that you're going to, once you're going to be in Philadelphia, I mean, there's more history there than just about any other town in the country.
We're actually starting off in New York, because it's just a hop, skip, and jump away. So we'll leave out that Sunday. Go to New York, spend a couple days sightseeing, and then come back to Philadelphia.
Okay.
And do the parade.
So lots of sightseeing, parade, and then back home. Now, we all come home the day of Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
After the parade, you'll get packed up, go to the airport, and be back home that night for Thanksgiving night.
Be on the bus.
Bus, excuse me.
Charter.
Charter bus.
Yes.
No flying bus. Okay.
Yes. So.
Good luck.
It's really not that bad. They drive through the night.
Yeah, I've been on them before. You just sit there and you just chill and, bring something to, if you're going to lay your head against the window, put something between your head and the air conditioning coming up from the because the air conditioning comes up between right next to the window.
Ear.
You'll have a frozen ear. So get you a pillow to put right there, or you'll have a frozen ear.
That's right. That's right. We've got right now 193 folks traveling with us.
Wow.
That's it's going to be quite the ordeal. So we're really excited.
Well, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of folks here in Wayne County recording that parade that morning, so they can look at it again and over and see the Wayne County High School Marching Band there in Philadelphia for the Thanksgiving parade.
We sure hope so. We've got a got a bunch of things going. We're real excited. It's been a great start to the year.
I know that's just a great honor for the Wayne County High School band. Now, how did all this come about? How did Wayne County High School get chosen to go to Philadelphia for the Thanksgiving parade?
It's invitation only.
Yeah, I mean, so they just send you an invitation. They did see some video.
Reputation.
Okay.
Reputation. Where we've been, what we've done, competitions we've been to.
Okay.
Hey, you really should apply to go to this parade.
Okay.
Ultimate goal, maybe one year going to Macy's, and it's a stepping stone to get to Macy's.
Okay.
And so it's almost a prerequisite. And so, hey, I think the Yellow Jacket Band would really do really well at this. So
I'm sure the students have got to be fired up.
They really are. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity for a lot of these kids, and unfortunately, the days and where we live, economic status, this might be for some of us the only time we get to travel out of state, and you'd be surprised every year we deal with it. We'll take kids out, and they've barely been to Florida.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's the way for a lot of folks. They get so involved in work and in school and their everyday routine. It's just a lot of folks don't go much past the county line or state lines. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely, 100%.
The main thing we want to push with the bricks, Butch, is we're going to run this to August the 1st hard.
Okay.
And because we have to have time to get these bricks made and laid by the first ball game.
Right.
That's not saying you can't purchase a brick after. We know when people come in the gate that night of the first game and the people start seeing them out there walking, they're going to want one. So we are going to plan ahead for someone. But if you want to get that brick in the initial run of us laying them, please contact us at the school, the band program, a band student. Let us know this week so that get your form filled out so we can get those bricks made and laid in time.
Mr. Cole's going to be very busy.
Yeah,
he's got a lot to cut.
Any particular order you're putting them in, or just slapping them down as you take them off the wheelbarrow or whatever?
Yeah, they'll just lay them normally. We've had a couple of requests of please put my grandson by granddad that passed away, and we're going to do all we can to honor that.
Okay.
I have a notebook that I've been writing notes in, but for any reason, if I slip up, you don't have to hang me. It'd be 100% my fault. I'll take the blame, but I am trying to accommodate everything I can.
Okay. Man, this is fantastic.
Ken, I see where the bleachers are right there in that end zone. Where the bricks be laid at?
If you remember where the flagpole actually was in that memorial, they moved it around closer to the visitor side. Where that cutout was, actually where that dirt is, where all that came up, will be where they're laid. So right there next to the track. Mr. Thornton is actually doing a U shape on the back of that fence, so we can you'll still have access to it. It's not like it's going to be across the fence and you can't see it. It'll be a cutout right there.
Oh, okay.
So that'll be the walkway for the band to walk in the stadium.
That was initial plan, and if we get enough, of course, to get to the back. Yeah.
Now, how big of this area are you going to do it? A square, rectangle, half moon? How are you going to do it? How big is that?
Half moon is the plan for the fence.
Along the fence, along the edge of the fence there.
Yeah.
So people can look over the fence and see the.
Well,
bricks.
no, the fence is actually going to be recessed there as well.
Okay. All right.
So they'll be able to,
So it'll be a half a moon. So do you have any idea for 300 bricks? How thick is it going to be, or wide is it going to be? A foot, 2 feet, 3 feet?
No.
How?
Not yet, because we are, like I say, we are going to take into consideration leaving some spacing to be able to lay if, family member comes into game 3 and, oh man, I want one of those bricks. We are going to, whether it be to go ahead and lay them with blank bricks and just be able to pop it out, or stopping it at the end so that we can pick up and go on.
Right.
I guess we'll leave that to the brick guys to figure out.
Which would be the best way of going there.
Right.
Because you might have some erosion in there if you have a spot with not any brick in it for a long time. It's in the middle of all the other bricks.
Well, we're going to do it the way it should be. We're going to pour concrete base under the bottom.
Good.
And then have the bricks laid. One of the brick guys I was talking to told me, my home, I have a huge patio that's brick, and it doesn't have concrete, and it's been there 10 years. And I don't want in 10 years these to look like my patio. So,
We can make it look
Live
right.
and learn.
Yeah.
Concrete first, then the bricks.
Right.
And once again, if folks want to buy one of these bricks for $50 to have it, there forever, how can they do that?
They can call me at 912-425-1020.
425 right now?
1020.
1020. And tell everybody your name once again.
Jason Weaver.
Okay.
I can run a credit card, debit card through my phone for you. I can get you a form if you're in town. Say, hey, bring me a form. We're in band camp this week, so we are running errands every 5 minutes all around town. So it's not a problem. Just if you're at work, hey, call me. I'll come to you. As long as I was going to say as long as you ain't in Florida, but hey, I might come there too.
All right. All right, Jason Weaver, president of the Boosters Club of the Wayne County High School Band. And Ken, y'all got to be all excited about this. And tell us a little bit about how band camp is shaping up.
Oh, wow. Kind of taken aback this year, just from the sheer numbers. We're sitting at 160 kids this year, which is just it. I've been here a decade and a half, and it's the biggest number we've had since I've been here. I haven't heard of one. Kids are absolutely just wearing it out. We've got some really fantastic staff, found their place. We've had a couple years to build this staff the way we need, and it's like a sewing machine. We've got 25% of the show on the field. As a matter of fact, last night we were playing the first third of the show, basically.
What's the show going to be this year?
It's Latin themed.
A Latin theme.
Never done a
halftime show.
Never done a Latin show.
All right, this ought to be fun.
Yeah, a little bit different. We're Malagueña, Children of Sanchez, and Chano, a little Spain in it.
Cool.
It's all custom written, all custom drills. So kids are excited about it. It's sounding real good. So still got a lot of time to prepare. I think you'll likely see more at the first home game than you normally do, just for the sheer fact of how hard the kids are working. Generally you go out there and we'll do a tune, which is typical band procedure. Do a tune, stand and play one, and
right.
Come off the field. The first tune is half the show.
Oh wow!
It's our typical halftime show is about 6.5 minutes, and the first tune itself is 3. So I feel like we'll have that laid down. I feel confident by Friday. So push on in and see how much we can get done before the first game. I'm real excited about it. They're got all new stands charts. Van Thornton has spent all summer rewriting everything we've done. Got a bunch of new stuff going in the stands. Because of where we're placed on the field, we have to rethink the way we do things. I don't think that unless you're on the visitor side, you can appreciate how loud the band actually is. So right there behind the goalpost, we're going to have to change the way we do things a little bit. We were able to stretch the rules a little bit because we weren't necessarily affecting when they're on the far side of the field. But when we're pointed directly down the field, you'll hear a lot of short snippets this year. Just short. If you think more of a college game, in playing between plays instead of, like when a play's going on, which we've been able to get away with just because where we've been placed. We've been so far down.
Right.
So it's a little change for us. We're excited about it though. I feel like the home crowd will finally get a taste of exactly what the band sounds like, because we're not on the far end. You're right there in the middle of everything. So
okay,
it'll be a lot different.
Okay, sounds good. So, folks, you're going to get one of those commemorative bricks to help raise funds for the trip to Philadelphia for the Wayne County High School Band for the Thanksgiving Parade. All you do is have to call Jason at 425-1020, 912-425-1020. It's $50, and you can have you got a form that you can fill out so you can put what you want there in memory of, in honor of, whatever you want to put on there that's in good taste, you'll put down there, and that'll be there to forever. You can take a look at it, and main thing is, of course, raising the funds for the band.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
And we look forward to halftime this year. It's going to be fun out there.
It's going to be a great
salsa going on this year, huh?
It's going to be loud. It's going to be fun.
It is loud. It is loud. Just by the sheer numbers this year, when you're looking at the brass line, I mean, you're another probably 30% bigger just in brass alone.
Wow.
Sit on 100 wins, which is when you put them all together, it's It's already loud, so
Okay.
it's going to be good stuff.
Well, anything else? We've got a person calling in a minute.
Yeah. Got a jacket,
Sure, go ahead.
Got a jacket card going out
Okay,
Thursday
good.
from the kids. It's a little bit different this year. Costs a little bit more, but the jacket card design is a lot different. The normal jacket card that we've put out in the past is a $10 card.
Right.
It's 10% off. You know, this year it's going to have some break offs around the side, and just let people know what to be expecting. Some of the bigger ones, free oil change, Dan Vaden, no purchase necessary. That's a $40 value. You've got buy one get one free blizzards at Dairy Queen, and you know, but my kids are real excited about that one. We've got no purchase necessary, free large Gooey's pizza on the card.
Okay.
You've got pizza in half-gallon free tea with purchase. You've got, what's the other big one I missed, Jason?
Breadsticks at Little Caesars.
Breadsticks at Little Caesars. Go to Little Caesars, you get free breadsticks.
So a bigger, more improved band card this year. And how much is the band card this year?
The band card is $20.
$20 for the band card, but bigger and better savings on there for
Yeah,
to raise
the
funds.
break-offs themselves, we were doing the math, the break-offs themselves are $110 value with no purchase necessary.
Yeah, that's just the break-off ones, not considered.
Yeah, and the card is still like it always is.
Okay.
But we've added a few, like Callie's Wraps downtown is on.
Reedy Creek.
Reedy Creek should be a big one. Reedy Creek's on this year.
Okay.
So there's been a lot of new businesses added on that these people.
And people can get the band cards from any band member.
Any band member.
You can see them. They'll be selling them around. You'll see them
Thursday. They'll get them. They'll get them tomorrow. Tomorrow Thursday.
Yeah, they get them
They
tomorrow.
get them tomorrow.
Stuckey's is on there again. I know a lot of the females love the Stuckey's thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not much into dry cleaning. I'll put it all in the same, wash. But we get that request a lot, so we're still there.
Okay. Well, band cards, bigger and better than ever. So get them from your local band member. It's coming up real soon. All right, guys. Thanks for coming in. Good luck with all the fundraising. And here we got the call coming in. We're going to take a quick break, okay? All right. WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup. We got another guest coming up on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show via phone. We'll do it in a moment.
Have you decided where you will attend school this year? Let my mom tell you about Wayne County's growing Christian school.
I'm Sherry Bowen, Director of Solid Rock Christian Academy, and our goal is to provide academic excellence in a Christ-centered environment. We strive to build a solid foundation in our students that will enable them to excel and become the future leaders of this community. Our superior academics challenges each child to reach their full potential, and our staff is strongly committed to creating a positive, nurturing environment. We offer affordable rates, a low student-teacher ratio, as well as a before and after school program. Our enrollment is limited, so please give us a call at 424-8316. Again, that's 424-8316. And feel free to check us out at www.srcajessup.org.
Again, that's 424-8316. Give us a chance to show you what makes us different at Solid Rock Christian Academy.
Welcome back to the world famous Butch and Bob Show. On the phone with us is Chip Lake, PR man with Republic Services. And Chip, I understand you got a special announcement you want to make and get the information out to the public. Appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, Bob, Butch, thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate you guys giving me an opportunity to make a quick announcement. As we have committed to do when we had Russ Nocky in the studio with you guys a few months ago, and as we have committed to do as a result of the permitting process that is currently ongoing with EPD, is we need to do a better job at being engaged in the community, and part of that is making certain that we are making the community aware of activities that we have going on with respect to Broadhurst. To that end, Bob, our area president, who has been down to Broadhurst several times now, Drew Eisenhower, yesterday, sent a letter to the Georgia EPD withdrawing the application for a permit for a transfer station, which will be part of the potential rail spur that is currently being evaluated by the Corps of Engineers. So the permit is not being withdrawn with the Corps of Engineers, but as a part of that, Bob, there was also a permit that we had to submit for a transfer station, meaning that if and when the Corps of Engineers does make a determination on the wetlands mitigation permit, and there is a rail spur that is built out there at Broadhurst. There will have to be a transfer station as part of the rail spur that provides a mechanism for offloading whatever material comes in to the landfill, whether it be MSW waste, whether it be any other type, whether it be coal ash. We have to offload that from the trains, take it to the active face of a landfill. That is a process, Bob, that needs to be permitted as well. Drew, as I said earlier, Drew sent that letter yesterday to Georgia EPD withdrawing that permit for now, with the caveat, which he also put in the letter, Bob, that if and when the Corps of Engineers makes a determination that they will issue the permit, we will resubmit that. But we will not do that before the Corps of Engineers makes a determination. And Drew also sent this information to the newspaper, I believe, late last night or early this morning. So I don't want to speak for the newspaper, but I suspect that the letter will quite possibly be in this weekend's newspaper. But again, we've committed to doing a better job than we've done in the past at making certain that activities that we do at Broadhurst are known. We've had a public open house out there. We've actually had 2 or 3. We've had some private tours, and to the extent that anybody in the community has more questions of what we do out there, we do have a website that is up and running, broadhurstlandfill.com. Anybody can go to that website. On the right-hand side of that website, there is a tab that is titled Visiting Us. And if you click that tab and then scroll down on the left-hand side, you'll see a tab called Request a Tour. And so with the announcement of the letter that is going to EPD, I just, again, wanted to, number one, thank you all for having us on again. And it's something I hope we can do on a semi-regular basis moving forward as people have questions in the community. And as always, we encourage everybody to, if you haven't seen what we're doing out there, I know there's a lot of questions. I know we've answered most of the questions to the best of our ability, but people still have questions, and we want you to come out to the landfill and take a look at what we're doing. Ask us whatever you want to ask us. We'll show you the active face. We'll show you the leachate tank. We'll show you the area of the landfill that where the rail spur application permit, where the rail spur will be if it's permitted. And with that, Bob, again, I just appreciate the opportunity to come on and kind of make the announcement that we have kind of withdrawn formally that transfer station application, and we will do so pending the outcome of what the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers determines with respect to the rail spur that we have pending with them.
Again, you're saying you're withdrawing at this time, but you're still looking to do that down the road. Is that what you're saying?
We are, yeah. I mean, I would kind of liken it maybe to a contractor building a house, Bob. I mean, you always try to, the good ones are going to get the permit applications in, knowing there are a lot of permit applications that come with a facility like this. You want to try to get them in early, knowing that the regulatory agencies that have to make a determination on the permitting are going to take some time to do so that, if there's any bumps in the road or if they have any questions, you have time to deal with that. In this case, we thought it would be best, we thought it would be prudent to kind of take a step back and not go about that in this way and say, you know what, we're going to wait. We're going to wait to see what the Corps of Engineers does. We don't want to prejudice or try to guess what they're doing, but people need to know that not only is the Corps of Engineers evaluating whether or not we are going to mitigate these wetlands properly, but then after that process is completed, there will be a new process that EPD will engage in to say, okay, hypothetically, if the Corps of Engineers does approve this permit for Republic to mitigate the wetlands and build the rail spur, now EPD we'll be able to say, all right, tell us what you're going to do, Republic, with that transfer station. Tell us how you're going to construct it. Tell us how you're going to offload the material. Tell us how you're going to transfer this material to the active face of the landfill, and we will resubmit it if it's appropriate at that time, and then EPD will then make a determination as to whether or not they believe what we're doing or what we plan on doing at the transfer station is worthy of a permit, or they could come back and say, look, we've got your application and we have some questions on your application, or we might want you to make some modifications to the application. So that process will happen, Bob, in the future if the Corps of Engineers does issue a permit for the rail spur. And as everybody knows, right now the Corps is doing their due diligence, and they're evaluating the comments that they have received from the public, as well as the merit of our application, and they've yet to make a determination on that. But that's how the process will work moving forward. And so I again appreciate the opportunity to be on today, and I'll be happy to be on a semi-regular basis, kind of moving forward to talk to you guys and to answer any questions that you might have, that the public might have. And again, I commit to you that we will be doing a better job in the future than we did before November of last year. I think we've come a long way, but I still think we have a long way to go. And again, we're in for the long haul. This is a long-term engagement. In order to be a responsible neighbor with the community, it needs to be a long-term engagement, and it will be. And we wish we could go back and make some changes to maybe some of the things that happened before November of last year. We really do. We can't. All we can do moving forward is making certain that we're having a dialogue, and that we want the dialogue to center around facts of the applications, and we want to do the best job that we can to convince people that not only do we want to be a good neighbor, but we want everybody to know that the activities that we have going on there are safe. We have controls in place to make certain so. And again, for anybody that has any concerns or questions, and there are very legitimate questions out there that we want to answer, we want you to come out, and we'll spend an hour and a half or 2 hours at the facility, and we'll show you everything that you want to see. If you've never been to a landfill before, I would certainly make an opportunity to do it, because I can assure you it'll probably be different than maybe what your expectations would be of a landfill. They're all different, and we're very proud of Broadhurst, and again want to be a partner with the community for a long time to come.
And you just joined us, Chip Lake with Republic Services on the phone with us. Again, we talked to you yesterday. What the big fear is in Wayne County.
Yes,
a lot of people don't want coal ash in here at all.
That's right.
Talking to you yesterday, you said a lot of the information has just not been factual. Just want to get your comments on that. Where you stand on coal ash in general.
Yeah.
People don't want
No.
coal ash.
Yeah. Thank you, Bob. Thanks for the opportunity. We're getting better with respect to a dialogue on what we would consider kind of the facts of the situation, which is, there were coal ash spills in Dan River, up in Virginia, up in Tennessee. There was a coal ash spill. As a result of those coal ash spills, those situations that happened that created a problem for the environment, for the local environment, that was the impetus, or part of the impetus, not the sole impetus, but part of the impetus for the Environmental Protection Agency to say, you know what, we need to reevaluate how power producers are disposing of this material. And what makes what happened up in Virginia and Tennessee far different than what might happen at Broadhurst is those were what we call surface impoundments. And surface impoundments, just so that everybody kind of knows, before the EPA changed their rules on how coal ash is to be disposed of, lined pond, which was a result with unlined ponds are what leaked in Tennessee and up at Dan River, Virginia. There was no liner. They were not in Subtitle D landfills. So the EPA said, you know what? We need to find a better way to dispose of this material. And so they changed the rules. The coal ash now has to be disposed of in a what we call a Subtitle D lined landfill, which is what Broadhurst is. And as a result of that, this is going to be a safer way to dispose of coal ash. Let me say this. A lot of what I have heard, I've talked to a lot of people down there over the last 6 months, a lot of the concern, or the biggest concern I think that I have heard is it's not necessarily that they're not comfortable, I guess, with the operations that we have going on with respect to what they're doing. But I've heard from a lot of people to say, we don't want to become the coal ash dump for the country. And I can assure you today that Broadhurst will never become the coal ash disposal site for the entire country. It's not going to happen. It doesn't make sense from a variety of different factors. I can assure you about it. As a result of this rule, this EPA rule, there will be lined Subtitle D landfills in all 50 states that will be accepting this material. And there are 2 landfills in Georgia right now that are currently accepting this material. One down in the Camden County area, and then one up in Homer, Georgia. And so, it is not going to be. You have my commitment on it today. It is not going to be the site for the country's coal ash waste, and that's a legitimate concern. And we need to do our job at making certain that the community knows that, because as I said, it's the biggest concern that I've heard, having talked to a lot of people down there and spent time down there, and it's a concern that people who have come out to the facility. It's the one concern I think that most of the people have expressed to us.
Again, appreciate you being on the show. Again, we've got to wrap it up, but
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
you calling in. And again, you're welcome here anytime on the Butch and Bob Show. And again, appreciate you calling in and giving us that information today.
Guys, thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
That's Chip Blake. That is Chip Blake with the ER Department of Public Services. And again, making that announcement that they're withdrawing the application at this time. So again, appreciate him calling in.
Yeah, we do appreciate it, Colin. Bob, once again, if you would just give the results of last night's election for clerk of court for Wayne County, because we've had some requests on that for folks who live out of town, and I've already emailed them, the folks in town who maybe just happen to be waking up right now and saying, "Oh, I wonder who won last time."
Well, Francis Shergan won the race. Again, it was a close race. 122 votes separate the 2 candidates. The vote count for Francis Shergan, 1,527, and Louise Ogden, 1,405. 122 votes separate the 2 candidates, but Francis Shergan will be sworn in January as the new clerk of court of Wayne County.
Another real close election here in Wayne County. Your vote does count. All right, Bob, thank you very much. World famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you by Mike Birch Ford in Black